And let's see what the new updates to our Chronicle are. New stratagems, apparently. Oh, there was still more. I saw it. Throwing weapons. Okay, so Encyclopedia Ramza, a member of a sellsword company led by Gafgarian. Disillusioned by the tragedy at Zeekden, he left the Order of the Northern Sky to become a mercenary. Though born in Egros, he severed ties with House Beov and taken his mother's family name, Lugria. I didn't even notice that. Of his newfound comrades, none but Gafgarian know of his noble roots. He continues to charge headlong into battle in the hope of finding a cause worth fighting for. Delita Hyrule. So the second one we missed was meeting Argath and Meluda has forced Delita to question his own place. Oh, we did read that. Order of the Southern Sky, Delita Hyrule. Childhood friend of Ramza, born in Egros, although thought to have perished in an explosion at Zeekden Fortress, he was later discovered to have survived. He reappeared as one of the kidnappers who abducted Princess Ovelia from Orban Monastery. Why Delita has chosen to align himself with the Order of the Southern Sky is a mystery. So right now, since it's in the future, or present, I guess, we are currently, in the middle of them starting a civil war, essentially, between the White Lion and the Black Lion. The Southern Sky being Zeltana's forces, the Black Lion, Gultana, and the Northern Sky being Larg. Anyway, a new one, Princess Ovelia Atkashka, liege lord of Lazalia. One of the proposed heirs to succeed the Ivalician throne, Ovelia was adopted by the late King Ondoria III after he lost his second son, but is actually true-born daughter to the former monarch Denamda IV and half-sister to Ondoria III. Soon after entering the Atkashka royal family, a third son, Prince Orinus, was born to Queen Lovaria, and Ovelia was hastily entrusted to Duke Larg. Henceforth, she lived sequestered in Orban Monastery. So technically, she was royalty before she was adopted, and already had a claim to the throne. Anyway, Alma Beolv, her updated one. Alma began to question the motives of her two eldest brothers after losing Titra and Delita in the tragedy at Zeekden Fortress. Now I got a new one, Agris Oaks, faction the Lion's Guard. A noble and fiercely loyal female knight serving in the Lion's Guard, the crown's personal shields. Tensions between Dukes Larg and Gultana after the death of Ondoria III led to fears for Princess Ovelia's safety, and the council dispatched Lady Agris, eventually we'll get her name in context, to Orban Monastery as a guard. She sympathizes with the princess for living a sequestered life. Dystarg's updated text. So, Master Tactician. Dystarg is the most trusted retainer. Is Duke Larg's most trusted retainer. In addition to being a Master Technician, he's said to be a... Okay, so that's not updated, really. They just got rid of the gravely wounded part. So, Order of the Northern Sky, said to be the mightiest army in the kingdom. He now finds himself locked in an ongoing political struggle with Duke Gultana over the custodianship of Prince Orinus. So that's where they're at right now, right? Ondoria died. He didn't leave he didn't name a retainer for Orinus, somebody who would rule while Orinus has yet come of age. So they're fighting over that. Gultana was updated with the same sentence, continuing political struggle with the Larg. Gafgarian's new. A sellsword hired by the Order of the Northern Sky to escort Princess Ophelia to Igros. He once served as a division commander in the Order of the Eastern Sky in the 50 Years' War. But at war's end, Gefgarian was expelled from the Eastern Order as a result of the barbaric methods he willfully employed to ensure victory. In the following years, he formed a unit of swords for hire comprised of bandits, outlaws, and other soldiers cut from the same cloth as he. Gefgarian became infamous as a man for whom no task was too unsavory, and one who would stop at nothing to earn his ill-gotten coin. Updated Waygraph. He was the leader of the dead men, although they fought valiantly and with purpose, blah blah blah, that's the same. Aggrieved at his treatment by the ruling class, formed the Corpse Brigade. They used kidnapping and assassination as a means to achieve this, but the group was wiped out in a counterattack by the Order of the Northern Sky. Waygraph has not been seen since the battle at Siegton. Gragoroth. He was killed by the Order of the Northern Sky as he tried to escape with Teacher as a shield. Argath. He was... okay. Yeah, the new one is he was killed at Siegton Fortress during a campaign to eliminate the Corpse Brigade. Elder Simon Pen Lakish, Church of Glabados. The elder of Orban Monastery and renowned theologian. Simon is a devout member of the Church of Glabados. Although he once served as Church Inquisitor, a certain incident led to his retirement, whereupon he withdrew to the remote sanctuary of Orban Monastery. He is both a teacher and a loving father figure to Princess Ophelia and the nuns. Tetra, taken hostage, later killed by Argath, Thedalphus at Siegton Fortress. Prince Ornus, Prince Ornus is the heir apparent to the throne, as he is yet an infant. A regent is to be appointed to govern in his stead, with Dukes Larg and Galtana vying to hold this coveted position. Queen Laviria, widow to the late King Ondoria III and trueborn sister to Larg. Most of that's the same. Anyway, after the king's death, the queen turned tyrant, deposing of anyone who defied her, even members of the royal family. So she's fucking crazy now. Got it. Ondoria died of a contagion after 7 days and nights of fevered suffering. All right. Orban Monastery. Monastery perched on Lazalia's southern tip, overlooking the ocean. It belongs to the Church of Glabados. The richly historic building was constructed in ancient times. It is said to house an extensive collection of books and scriptures in the underground vaults. The Rana Strait. The strait that separates Ivalice and the Romandan Peninsula. With its swift currents and stormy winds, this treacherous expanse of water has claimed many an ocean-faring vessel. The Lion's Guard. A knight order whose members are directly sworn to the Etkashka royal family. One of its numbers, Agrius, was dispatched to escort Princess Ophelia on her journey from Orban Monastery to Igros. And heretics. Those whose thoughts, words, or actions are deemed antithetical to the teachings of the Church of Glabados. Individuals who have been branded heretics are often abhorred as evildoers and treated as spawns of darkness. Alright. State of the Realm. So the last thing we looked at was this one. Then we killed Miluda and had Waygraph flee. And then everything happened here and people died. And now we're here. We're in Orban in pursuit of Delita, who attacked Orban Monastery. Zeltena and Igros are competing for the regent position. Yeah, that's about it. You'll notice a lot of this has not been filled in yet, a lot of this map. I don't remember how much of this map gets used because I don't remember there being a section between Lazalia and Igros. Nor do I know... I think Limbury's the section between Zeltena and Lazalia. And I feel like we go south as well. I don't remember for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go through this and get rid of the blue. And now we gotta do our menuing, and then we're good. Not a lot of mystic points. That's disappointing. We're just gonna buy in power. We are gonna do... fuck it. It's fine. 300 doesn't... gets me a Suna. Cool. So that brings me down to 1600. That's cool. Can I learn anything for 100? Probably not. Oh, hesitation. Cool. You learned Thundara. That brings us down to 3850. Oh, here. Alright, this helps us out, actually. Because, Hallstein's done. And that means we can move on to Monk. Which is perfect for this next fight.
What's the plan?
Now, what he needs is 600, 950, 1450, 2750, 3050, 3050, 3050. Not bad, not great. And then she still hasn't been in a fight in a hot minute, so. Yeah. We're gonna move these two to the back end. Usually I like to keep it ordered by level, but since we're not using Eleanor, that's not exactly true right now. Anyway, we got a lot of things to look at real quick. First off, headgear's apparently new armor. Oh, and I have mithril vests now. That's crazy. A better shield, too. Alright. Now I can buy shuriken now. That's cool. That's all my money. So we're not going to buy holy waters. But then the tavern has unlocked errands. I can now accept errands from the tavern masters. These requests made by the citizenry require you to dispatch your ally units for a certain number of days with the prospect of returning with a reward of guild JP, valuable treasure, or even having discovered an ancient wonder lost to time. Put your units to use and reap the benefits. So I... Okay, so I have wings targeted. I don't know what that's not on this list. I'm gonna keep this list, but
Who do you have in mind?
Fuck. I just learned something. And I'm looking for my first set of errands. Oh, did they get rid of the fun shit? I don't know, dude. This is annoying.
Who's going?
I'm gonna send these 3.
Days for this errand.
We'll go the full days.
Very well.
Alright, in-demand worker. Alright, so
Be all?
13 days is a lot. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Cool.
Warm welcome to. That's the spirit. You've some news from an errand. Right then. Tell us how it went.
The task was a great success. I can only attribute it to proper planning and
I think this is more like a tutorial, I hope. Bacchus Winery's most popular product is Bacchus liqueur, an incredibly sweet drink made from Bacchus seeds. This fragrant cargo was apparently the reason for the attacks on the company's wains. What was thought to be the work of bandits was actually that of monsters drawn to the sweet aroma. We soon vanquished the creatures, ensuring that Ivalicians could once again partake of Bacchus's blessing.
You can be safe knowing that we will excel in any work you wish to entrust to us.
I'd consider that a job
Uh-huh.
well done.
Job XP is nice. The money's nice. We have no more errands right now.
A warm, it's just rumor, mind you.
New rumors. Since the death of King Andoria III, Queen Laveria's campaign to seize total control of the government has proceeded apace. All who oppose her, even members of the council, are mercilessly stripped of their rank. Even the Queen Mother, who has openly criticized the actions of her son's wife, was banished to Bunaham, never to return. Her fate is unknown, although some say she was poisoned. Duke Larg, trueborn brother of the Queen Laveria, and Duke Altana, cousin of the late king, are locked in a fierce political struggle for control of Ivalice. Both men hope to be appointed guardian of Prince Ornus and thus gain the title of and authority of regent. Although the queen supports Duke Larg, a goodly number of nobles and council members appear to back Duke Altana. There are rumors he may be officially appointed regent ere long. Widespread peasant revolt. Peasants riot through Duke Altana's province of Zeltenia. The sudden outbreak of civil unrest stems from the unanticipated loss of crops due to last year's drought. Coupled with the burden of taxes that have been steadily rising since the end of the 50 Years' War, a group of former knights calling itself the Order of the Ebon Eye appears to be fermenting the violence. Even as Baron Grimm's Black Ram Knights struggle to contain it.
That'll be all. Not a lot.
Alright.
No, thank you.
Now that we have errands, I want to go to Garland and I want to go to Garland and
In particular, may I help or catch your eye?
Egros anyway.
Shake hands with me.
But yeah. Alright. Any errands?
Earn some gil.
Miner's Tale. Okay. Geomancer. Gross. For ore? What does that mean? Shoreline defense. Orator. I do not have an orator. So we're just gonna do it with these three and hope for the best.
How long will you permit for this?
9 days.
Anything else, Hooker? Thank you.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not doing any random encounters. I'm so glad that they changed that, because it helps.
Wanna earn? Who's going?
Alright, what do we got?
It was a resounding success. Won through great
We investigated the mysterious items washing up on the shore near the city of Garland. This is kind of neat that they added these little stories to these. For the most part, we found refuse that had merely been carried by the currents, and the merchant council official who joined us stated that it posed no danger. However, in amongst the garbage, we found a small bottle containing a scrap of paper with writing on it. When the official read the message, he became suddenly flustered, but would not reveal its meaning. He quickly paid us a large sum of coin and left. The truth of that missive may never be known, but from what we did see of it, the note appeared to be a plea of sorts.
We poured our hearts and
I'd consider that.
Alright. Not a lot, but that's fine. Miner's Tale requires a geomancer. I'm not going to do that, so here we go. Let's go 10 days.
Well, anything else? Come back.
This is basic. You want to go the longer amount if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I want to land on the city when I'm done. So even days are nice.
An errand's been
Well, so the longer you stay away, the worse your reward gets. Unless they change that.
right then.
I bring glad tidings.
Alright, the Miner's Tale.
Were rewarded with great
A gold rush some years ago led to the establishment of several towns at the foot of Mount Ouroboros, and for a time the mountain crawled with prospectors. However, the mountain of gold soon dwindled, the miners up and left, and the settlement became not more than ghost towns. With few clues to go on, we made a brief stop at one of the mines and recovered a measly amount of gold. All that remains of the miner's dreams are the tears of the old man in the tavern who told us his tale.
poured our hearts.
I'd consider that.
So,
Well done.
not as much as we could have gotten, but that is what it is. Let's go to Egros real quick and hit that tavern.
Wanna earn some gil?
Mount Gulag Motherlode. So this one actually is supposed to give us an artifact, and I do have the class they want, so that's cool.
Anything else? Hooker? Come back soon.
Alright. 1, 2. Usually having the class that they want increases your chances of getting your bonus, or basically guarantees it. I'm not counting, but I don't need to count anymore like I used to, because it tells me when it's done, which is fucking fantastic.
That's the spirit. An errand's been. Right then.
We accomplished the task with flying colours. Naught is like to match the satisfaction we all feel now.
Alright. Mount Golg. I kept calling it Gulag. Mount Golg has lain dormant for nigh on 5,000 years, yet the dangers enough remain that few dare venture near. But we did, and were rewarded with a tract of gold ore. But it was at the bottom of that deep, dark shaft, 300 domes down at least, that we saw her rise from the molten rock. A lady of flame! Local folk tales tell of a time when young maidens were thrown into volcano's fiery crater to ward off eruptions. We erected a small shrine and offered prayers for the maidens of Mount Golg.
You proved most sagacious in selecting us for this.
Furthermore, we obtained a most striking.
This is what I want to make sure I get. I want to get all the artifacts. New reading material, Nanai's Histories. A collection of writings by the psychologist Nanai that provide detailed analysis of the lives of a wide spectrum of people. This one covers the travails of a certain gambler.
Fine treasure you found there. I suppose you can call yourself a treasure hunter now.
Nice. It really does nothing for me, but I want it.
Job well. Anything else? Thanks.
Anyway, that's going to be in our Chronicles here, the reading materials. And we have our list of errands now, which is kind of neat.
You are always welcome.
Alright. Two people could look identical, sound identical, be exact twins, even. Yet they will never truly be the same. Every life, big or small, odd or typical, is without compare. Okay. I read it. No matter how unfulfilling or fraught with trouble life can be, one must take heart in the fact that each of our journeys is unique. Regardless of how many hundreds of thousands of years pass, your experience here will always remain yours and yours alone. Nanai, whatever his last name was. The Chocobo Racecourse. Welcome to the Golden Palace, the only place in the nation where gambling is permitted. Upon the week's end, throngs of passionate Chocobo racing fans take to the stands to cheer on their favorite competitors. On the tracks below, race Chocobo owners from all corners of the country can be seen readying their mounts in hopes of taking home large rewards. Chocobo racing was once a widespread pastime, and all types of events, from amateur to official, took place across the state. This came to an end 30 years ago when the king passed a decree banning all such activity outside the designated racing area. Thus, the Chocobo Racecourse came into existence. Despite the new laws in place, the popularity of the sport remained the same, and many expected to profit greatly from it. And they did. Chocobo racing only continued to grow in acclaim over the years. Bets at the racecourse eventually grew to such proportions that the amount of gil exchanging hands on days large races took place would rival the budget of a small nation. The sheer amount of wealth circulating within these walls is why it came to be known as the Golden Palace. That's crazy. Now let us take a moment to delve into the life of a middle-aged man who joined us at this racecourse today, and is central to our story. His name is Tango. This man loves Chocobo racing so much, he would rather put his hard-earned gil towards gambling than eating 3 meals a day. Currently, he is facing the crisis of a lifetime. Many lifetimes, even. Tango's dilemma began a few days prior when he dropped his coin purse containing his life savings of 500,000 gil. Not only was it never to be found again, but this incident marked the start of a series of unfortunate events. First, he was accosted in the street by a group of hooligans. Then the house he had bought on a mortgage was apparently targeted by an arsonist, though the culprit was never found. Following that, Tango's paper mill, a company he had recently started, went belly up. His wife then left him, and to top it all off, a black cat just crossed his path. All I have left to my name is the 5,000 gil in my pocket. How many times have I found myself here? How many times have I vowed that this was going to be my last race? How many times have I said I would give up gambling? This is it for me. This is the end, Tango thought sullenly to himself. He was in the throes of depression. There's nothing left for me in this world. But today was the day of the great race. Tango looked up at the cloudless blue sky and made a decision. One last race. I'll watch one last race before I end it all. He really had not learned his lesson. By the time Tango arrived at the tracks, the first race had already finished. He, however, was not worried. The ones with the higher payoffs were later in the afternoon. A booklet with information on the day's races had been tossed away nearby. Tango picked it up before heading over to his favorite tavern. Alas, he was unable to shake the feeling something was wrong. Ever since he woke, there was a terrible buzzing in his ears. Tango slid into his usual seat and ordered his usual drink, adding it to his running tab. Refreshment in hand, he began eavesdropping on the conversations around him. As expected, the snippets he caught largely centered around the Chocobo races, punctuated occasionally with talk of relationships. Listening in on people's conversations was one of Tango's favorite ways of amusing himself. The ringing in his ears, however, began to grow so intolerable that he found himself utterly unable to concentrate. He tried pulling at his ears and cleaning them out, but it did little to improve the situation. Tango could only hear isolated words. It seemed they were discussing the competitors slated to appear in the second race. Listening to the best of his ability, he was able to hear every name except one, Soul Cannon. Tango, feeling sympathy for the bird whose name he had not heard mentioned even once, resolved to root for Soul Cannon. He only wished his finances allowed him to do something beyond simply lending the chocobo moral support. The race began. It was a short one, only 1,200 lengths, and over nearly as soon as it began. The winner? None other than Soul Cannon, of course. Several more races followed, that one in quick succession. For each one, he cheered on the chocobo whose name he could not hear. All of them won. Tango struggled to comprehend it. Every single chocobo whose name I did not hear has won today. This cannot be a coincidence. Perhaps this ringing in my ears is a blessing in disguise. The gods are granting me a chance to reclaim my life. I must take advantage of this and purchase some vouchers. Thus, booklet in hand, Tango took to wandering about and listening in on discussions around him. Each time a chocobo's name was voiced, he'd cross them out. By the time the fourth race began, only one bird was left. The only bird left was Herman, and naturally it was Herman who won. The afternoon arrived and the morning races came to a close. His body was racked with tremors. No matter what he did, they wouldn't stop. I really hope the next set of races begins soon. Pushing his anxiety aside, Tango began making his way to the Good Luck Tavern. He took his usual seat and ordered his usual midday meal. It was, of course, added to his ever-growing tab. While Tango was waiting for his lunch, the last person he ever wanted to see strolled through the doors, Lance. A gentleman on the surface, Lance was nothing more than a pretentious and arrogant poser. Even worse, he was filthy rich. Well, if it isn't Tango... I'd prefer you keep my name out of your mouth. Apologies. I didn't mean to disturb you, but there's someone I'd like you to meet. It was none other than Tango's wife, who had followed Lance through the doors. Lucinda? What are you doing with him? 'Twas your unbecoming conduct that drove Lucinda into my arms. She needed comfort, and being the sympathetic man that I am, I brought her here on a date to take her mind off things. A date? Lucinda, is this true? There really is no need to cause a scene, Tango. Lucinda, clearly remaining here, will only create further discord. Let us make for the inn across the way. The two of them filed out of the tavern, and Tango watched them go. He wanted to give Lance a good walloping, but that would do little to bring Lucinda back to him. Tango rushed outside, shouting after his wife, Lucinda, I'm going to win all the afternoon races, you know. And then I'm going to quit gambling forever. Please, I'm begging you, just give me one last chance. He quickly came to the conclusion that he would need to channel his anger into picking the winning chocobos. I can't wait to wave a fistful of gill in that buffoon Lance's face. The thought made him smirk. Tango turned his attention back to his booklet. There are a total of 3 races in the afternoon. To win all of them, I'm going to have to use this buzzing in my ear to my advantage. The loudspeaker crackled, and an announcement rang through the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5th race will be starting shortly. Curses, I must hurry. With what little time is left, I must see what chocobo names I can overhear, then I will leave the rest in the hands of the gods. The next race was to commence soon, and Tango was running short on time. He needed to find a crowded place where it would be easy to overhear conversations. Let's see, a popular place that serves food would be a great start. I know, I'll head to the Good Luck Tavern. So just turn around. Tango arrived outside the Good Luck Tavern. A small table marked with 2 was immediately visible. On the seat, a dancer named Stella. Immediately visible from the entrance to the tavern was a table marked with number 2. The rest of the establishment extended out beyond it. Let's move to table 2. From table 2, See the exit to the north, or to the west, a decorative plant. To the east, there is a table marked with 1, where the local speak to the weaponsmith. Is looking troubled as always. You want to know which chocobo I bet on? I don't have 4,000 gil. What about the armor smith? Did not wait for a response. You want to know what chocobo I bet on? I don't even remember myself. It's been too... You're such a fucking dick. This is interesting. I don't know. Exit can be seen to the north, in the west plant, to the east, table 1. Move to table 1. Talk to Willis. Sure. Feels nice. Tropical storm. Alright. To the west, blah blah blah. Let's go to the orchestration. That sounds... Yeah, let's go to the... Search the orchestration. Oh, you bitch. There should have been people here. Alright, move to table 1. Yeah, I already know this part. I guess I'm gonna move back to table 2. Let's move to the counter space. Alright, let's drink the counter. I've only gotten 1 name. Wow, this is awful. I got 1 name. Currently have 5,000 gil. Until now I've been buying small over time. This caused me to fall into debt. Here goes nothing. Okay. Tropical storm, palm tree, angelfish. Alright, so I know it's not tropical storm. Yeah. 5,000 on palm tree. No turning back. Are you sure you want to do this? I hear you've been borrowing a lot of money. Tango found himself unable to answer. He instead gripped his ticket tightly and headed to the racecourse. I cannot move. My legs will not carry me. Come on now, move. Tango's nerves had gotten the better of him. He felt as though his legs had turned to lead. In this state, I will not be able to make it to the race. I have no choice but to wait for the announcements to learn the winners. This is interesting. The cheering grew louder. It looks like the race is about to finish. They'll be announcing the winners soon. A few moments passed, and the speakers came back to life. We are pleased to announce the results of the Southern Classic, our 5th race of the day. In first place is Palm Tree, with a payout of 10-1. I repeat, in first place. All right. I won! Tango was beside himself with disbelief. I actually won. I can't remember the last time this has happened to me. He had just multiplied his money tenfold. 50,000 gil now lined his pockets. Congratulations, Tango. He turned around to see Lucinda standing there. Lucinda, I'm so sorry for everything. I truly am. Yet, you're here gambling away the last of your gil instead of putting it towards reopening Tango's paper mill. If you're as sorry as you claim, then take us back to a time when we were happy and you were not indulging in this madness. Lucinda, Lucinda turned and ran off before Tango could say anything more. Please wait, don't go. In his desperation, Tango tried to chase after her, but Lucinda had already been swallowed by the crowd. Try as he might to push against him, it was hopeless, and he quickly lost sight of her. The loudspeaker crackled to life again. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6th race will be starting shortly. Good grief, now is not the time for this. I must get to the race course. The next race was slated to commence soon, and time was running short. Tango needed to find somewhere that would be yeah, we already know this. Right now is when people would be gathering for refreshments, so I know just the place, Companion Saloon. From the entrance to the Companion Saloon, Tango had a clear view of a table marked with number 2. Right before Tango was at table 2, the rest of the establishment extended out behind it. Head to table 2. To the north was the entrance, to the west was the decorative plant, to the east was the counter where an adventurer Tango had never seen before sat sipping milk. I'm an adventurer writer that goes by the name of Meza Rikshin. This is the first time in a long time I've been home. I was curious to know how my book was selling. Have you read it? It's one of my favorite books. You want to know who I bet on? Hard hitter, of course. Why do you want to know? Well, thank you for that. Sorry for lying. I didn't know I lied. I don't know what this motherfucker's read before. Alright, well, to the north was the entrance, to the west was the plant, to the east were counters. Well, let's go to the plant. There's nothing of significance. There's no time to waste. I must be going. Arrived at the plant. Yeah. Companion Saloon, table 2, table 1. I went back to table 1. Why did I... Playing a card game. Speak to the man. How's the wife? What, you want to know who I'm betting on? If you pull a card with a bigger number than mine, then I'll tell you. Sure. I'll go first. And it's an ace of spades. Looks like I'm going to win. This one. What do you mean? That's an auto win, technically. Katya was grumbling to herself as Tango approached. Are there no gentlemen left in this world? Is there anything worth living for? Why does everything have to be so boring? And to top it off, I'm so thirsty. I didn't want to hear you, bitch. I guess we'll go to the terrace. Gentleman with silvery hair sat with a glass of milk in hand. Gray-haired gentleman was gazing off to the far distance with nary a glance at Tango. He opened his mouth and spoke. Sipping milk out here whilst peering up at the sky brings back a flood of memories. Way back when the Great War was coming to a head, back then I was a tactical airship engineer deployed to a small village. There I met her. Her beauty was... The elderly gentleman leaned forward and Tango spotted a race ticket peeking out of his whirlwind. Okay. If this is like the last one, we have our 2. So we're just gonna sit here. Time is ticking. I must go purchase my ticket. Tango walked up to the vendor, still deep in thought. I currently have 50,000. Until now, I've been buying small. So, I'm just gonna throw everything all in. This is it, he murmured under his breath as he arrived before the ticket booth for the second time that day. Hello, Tango. Today's been a mighty lucky day for you, hasn't it? Now, what can I do for you? Oh shit. Well, we got two. We know Hard Hitter and Whirlwind are not on the table. But I also might know the answer. Heavy Kicker. Group 2. Which Chocobo? Heavy Kicker. I would like to place 50,000 on Heavy Kicker. There's no turning back now. Are you sure you want to do that? You might have received a windfall with the last bet you placed, but there's no guarantee it'll happen a second time. Tango stared, determined glint in his eye. With a certain reluctance, the receptionist handed the ticket over to him. Taking it in hand, the middle-aged man returned to the racecourse. Curses, Tango's legs felt as they turned to lead. Not this again. I'll never be able to see the race at this rate. I can't even hear the announcements all over this clamor. As these angry thoughts swirled his head, the Good Luck Tavern's owner's son, Pippin, passed by. Pippin, wait, Tango shouted. Oh, it's the man with the cherry nose. Hello. Listen to me. I need you to go and watch the next race for me. As soon as it's over, come and report the results back to me. Got it? Leave it to me. You just gotta promise to pay off your tab. The race was over. Pippin, over here. So who won? Hello, mister. The White Chocobo won. Heavy Kicker was his name, I think. They said the payoff was 200 to 1. Jesus. Fuck. Are you absolutely sure? The young boy looked up at him, eyebrow cocked. Have I ever lied to you, mister? Thank you, Pippin. I'll get you a Luge puppet. Really? You promise? Also, while you're at it, could you pay off your tab? This is too good to be true. I'm not dreaming, am I? Tango was looking down at his ticket. Gripped in his hand was something he had never seen, only heard about in his 20-odd years of gambling. The golden Chocobo ticket, which was only ever given when the odds were over 100 to 1. With odds at 200 to 1, Tango's once meager funds had now amounted to 10 million gil. You did it, Tango. He turned to see Lucinda standing behind him. Lucinda, Tango, I still love you, yet how can I know that you feel the same way about me? Lucinda, I will always put you first. I shall never betray your trust in any way again. Her lips quivered. Tango, all I ever wanted was for us to be true partners to each other, to love, respect, and support one another. Lucinda, Tango took a small step towards her. Please don't cry. Wait, where are you going? Tango dashed after her. Lucinda, however, was long gone, swallowed by the masses. Are we ready for round 3? Because I'm not. Loudspeakers crackled, blah blah blah. Great race will soon be commencing. We urge you to hurry and purchase your tickets while you still can. I must make haste. The race is about to begin. All my efforts will have been for naught if I do not win this. The time was running short for Tango as the great race was soon to begin. He urgently needed to find a place with a large gathering of people before the main event. If I were a spectator waiting in anticipation for the upcoming race, I would go to the racecourse gallery. Round 3. Fight! Tango arrived at the establishment's second entrance. Feeling something at his feet, Tango glanced down to see an aging dog. To the north were spectator seats, which thronged with people. Talk to the dog. The dog seemed to have something in his mouth. He spat it out into Tango's hands. I got a 50-point coin. I don't know what that means. Feeling something at his... Yeah, I already talked to the dog. Pushed through the crowd. To the south he saw a secondary entrance. To the north there were front row seats. To the east was the third entrance. Well, let's go to the seats. The man who appeared to be a chocobo jockey was seated. Alright, let's talk to the chocobo rider. How could I be so clear as to lose the keepsake he gave me? A fool such as I does not deserve to be here. You didn't help me at all. Thank you for that. Fucking red herrings. Eastern wing and western wing. Let's go to the east. Man with a sinister glint to his eye. Madroma, the local gravekeeper, was snickering under his breath. Adamantimer. Well, he's not winning. Man with... Alright, so... Move to the center seats. And then we'll go west, I suppose. Alright. Nudging against him in her haste. Ah, look what you've done. Everything in my coin purse has been scattered all over the ground. I demand you pick it all up. Gill Turtler. So that's 2. She calmed down significantly. Thanks, just be sure to watch your step from now on. We're at the western section. The south is the 4th exit. Let's move to the 4th exit. Well, let's talk to this father. Fernando, the gambling father, was clearly not in the best of moods. Damn it, of all times, the next race is the great race. What do you want? You want to know who I bet on? Get lost. I don't have time for idle chatter. Now let's talk to the kid. The kid might help me. Gambler's son Theodore was bouncing up and down in excitement. Mister, if you pass my test, I'll tell you who father bet on. Sure. Yay, so first question, which expression means to remain calm? To keep your hair on. Second question, what is the golden rule? Treat others the way you like to be treated? Which of the following sayings mean to improve something unnecessarily? To gild the lily. Wow, mister, you're really smart. You got every single one of them correct. Slip slider. Okay. Well, we gotta leave. Let's go to the 4th entrance. A bored-looking woman. Garbage bins. I wish a meteor would come crashing down just so there would be something to do. Why can't the race just start already? I want to see the weapon cross the finish line first. Alright, well that's 4 of them. That's a lot. Holy shit. Garbage bins. Nothing appeared to be out of the ordinary here. Oh, I could have searched the garbage bins. Damn it. Oh, it's over anyway. There's no time, I must go purchase my ticket. Tango walked up to the booth, still deep in thought. Now how much should I bet this time? He glanced down at his 10 million gil. Perhaps I should err on the safe of caution and diversify? No, that's a terrible idea. Every time I've done that in the past, I've lost. Playing it safe has only ever brought me misfortune. It is time I risked it all. I cannot afford to lose again. Everything is riding on this. Tango took a deep breath and made his way to the ticket booth for the final time. Tango, you're on a real winning streak today. Mind sharing your secret? Final race at the Grand Championships. We got 4 of them. The weapon, Gill Turtler, Slip Slider, and Adamantimer. Scarlet Sephiroth or Kingfire. Which group would you like to choose? Group 1. And I want Kingfire. I would like to place 10 million on Kingfire. There was no turning back for Tango now. Tango, you put all us men to shame. You are a champion. Tears sprung to his eyes. He did not know why he was crying. Gripping his ticket even tighter, he set off for the race course. Lucinda, wait! I cannot move. My legs, a frustrated groan escaped him. Be a man, Tango. Move. After a great deal of struggle, he made it to the tracks. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could turn your attention to Gate 3, where Tango will be entering shortly. This man bought the Golden Chocobo ticket earlier this afternoon. This is certainly not an everyday occurrence. Will we be witnessing a miracle today? Today's main event, the 128th Great Race, is now underway. It looks like Slipslider has taken an early lead. He's pulling quite far ahead and is now approaching the first turn. Slipslider maintains the lead out of the bend, but Gil Turtler is not far off in the second and showing a good turn of foot. Following right behind him in the third is Adam and Timer. The leaders are beginning to pull away. Bringing up the rear are the Weapon and Kingfire, with the crowd favorite Scarlet Sephiroth in last. Gil Turtler and Adam and Timer are moving up the stretch at a swift pace, according to our timers. These chocobos are traveling at a far faster rate than those in the sixth race. Slipslider is still at the head of the pack and leads the third sweeping turn. Slipslider goes down at the turn. What a nasty spill. But the show must go on. Gaining ground are Gil Turtler and Adam and Timer. Moving up through the pack is also none other than Scarlet Sephiroth. Gil Turtler and Adam and Timer are losing speed as the pack nears the fourth turn. Perhaps Slipslider's breakneck pace pushed him to his limits too early in the race. Scarlet Sephiroth pulls into the lead. Right behind him is the Weapon. We're nearing the final turn, ladies and gentlemen. Racing to the take first are the two chocobos. Will it be Scarlet Sephiroth or the Weapon? The Weapon is losing speed. Scarlet Sephiroth pulls ahead and takes lead. Scarlet Sephiroth is ahead now. Just 100 lengths goes before he goes down in the history as the first to win 3 consecutive great races. 50 lengths left. Scarlet Sephiroth is in the lead, storming down the track. But wait, what is this, ladies and gentlemen? Kingsfire, who was bringing out the trail of the field, is moving up the stretch at an incredible speed. Kingfire is tearing down the track, pulling into the forefront. There are just 20 lengths to go. Scarlet Sephiroth is losing ground. Is Kingsfire going to overtake him? They're now neck and neck. Will it be Scarlet Sephiroth or will it be Kingfire? Kingfire takes the lead in a spectacular upset. Kingfire emerges victorious, an impossible result here. After 3 years of absence, he has reappeared only to win the great race. Kingfire, everyone, Kingfire. God, that I didn't get to... I won. I did it, Lucinda. I had to, try to keep up with that. I don't talk that fast. I could, but I stumble. My brain. My reading comprehension has gone down over the years. Or reading speed, because I want my reading. Both of them went down. Mostly as a result of reading comprehension. It's a damn shame. Anyway, the Golden Palace was abuzz with excitement. Men, women, and children were cheering loudly for Tango. From the level of enthusiasm, one might think everyone had won. Tango did it! He really did it! The payout is 300 to 1! This is incredible! Absolutely incredible! Sir, please, if you could return to announcing the race results. Tango! 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 I'm not reading all that. The crowds were in an excited frenzy. Tango, from the jumbled up people before him, Lucinda appeared. Tango made his way towards her. Please, if you could move aside, I need to get to Lucinda. After parting the crowd, Tango was at long last reunited with his love. Darling, Lucinda. Those whose moments earlier were cheering became completely silent. Perhaps it was because they noticed the pair gazing into each other's eyes. Lucinda, I want to start over with you. Right here, right now. Let's start our lives anew. Darling Tango, yes, let's rebuild our lives together. In just a few moments, the stadium went from complete silence to a loud, boisterous cheers. The crowd converged on them, and soon Tango and Lucinda were engulfed by a swarm of people. They shout for Tango. The audience began chanting his name. It was shortly followed by another chant. Now they're shouting Lucinda's name. And in the midst of it, the two of them stood holding each other in a tight embrace. But does he pay off his tab? Later, Tango would learn that Lucinda never had any intention of leaving him. She had simply intended to give him the space he needed to rethink his life and start making better decisions. She had agreed to accompany Lance only on the condition that they attend the Chocobo races. Lucinda was well aware her husband would be in attendance. Lucinda had never cared for affluence. She had not known it growing up, so it held very little importance to her. While she often wished he would cut back, even the fact that Tango enjoyed gambling did not faze her. After her husband's company fell through, however, he began drowning his sorrows at local taverns and gambling with greater frequency. Lucinda left believing it would serve to halt his downward spiral. Tango, upon learning the truth, was overwhelmed with happiness. He knew in that moment his old self would need to remain where he belonged, in the past. After the events that unfolded at the Golden Palace, Tango decided to put the gil he won towards restarting his business. That, however, is a story for another day. Thank God, because that was like 45 minutes. That was really good. Golden Palace. So ends this gambling tale. That is completely new. So the way they handled... Interesting. The way they handled these in the past was we just got a little blurb about what it is, but not actually what is in it. So I'm kind of super into it. My score was 210. I don't care about that. I just wanted to know what that was about. Still don't know what these are. That's fine. Anyway, we are in Leo. Alright, so I want to check here real quick and see if there's anything new. Oh, fuck yeah. New armor. Alright. Flee. Alright. We're at break time already. I know. That took up a lot of time. It's okay. But it is what it is. We are going to go to break, and then when we come back, we will actually do the story.